All right, in this video, I'm going to take a look at some of these 3D printed Sears kits that are available on the Evil Bays and that garage kit there as well. These are all from the same seller. That one is not. That's not a 3D printed building. We'll look at that in another video. These are really nice, and I'm using them right now as placeholders so I figure out, where I'm going to space the houses at, how this is all going to look. But I want to go ahead and build one or maybe both of these in this video, and we'll take a look and see how things go. Okay, let's take a look at this one first. This is what you get out of the box. I ordered 3 of the buildings, as you saw. So this is one of them. So this is what you get out of the box when you order one of these. Now, I'm not the one that's selling these. I'm not the one, anything like that. I'm just interested to see what these are like compared to, say, Woodland Scenics or Cornerstone or any of the other named brands that we've all known and built over the years, Bachman, things like that. And you can see this looks filament printed to me, which is fine. So I'm really impressed with being filament printer. You can see the lines. That's how you know it's filament printer. I'm impressed at how well the detail is on this and how clean it is for the most part. Now there is a little bit of roughness around the windows. That can easily be cleaned up. So I had a little bit of an issue there in the printing process. That's okay, we're not going to see that. So overall, I'm really impressed with the way it looks. I'm going to see how it paints up. Both of these have a bottom piece that kind of snaps in. So you could choose to use this or not. It doesn't really hang over the edge, so it's not like it's representing a basement per se, but it has a hole cut in it, as you can see, to put a light, wiring a light through it there. In the baggie here, you got your porch printed here. So I'm impressed. The railings here, they're not all stringy. Underside here looks like it was getting a little funky, but that's okay. Again, we're not going to see that. If that becomes an issue, we can trim that with a knife. Even if you print them yourself, you're going to have this problem. I should get back into 3D printing. I want to do a resin printer, but I'm impressed with the level. He got really, this guy's printer is able to get down to really fine layers. I can get pretty fine layers on mine too. The bottom there again, but here's the roof section for the porch. Now in the other building, and I'll show you this when I take it off the layout, the other building actually has, and this one kind of does too, has a recess right here for the roof, porch roof section to fit. And it's also got a little, I guess a little key, you call it, right there. So it kind of just snaps in. Let's see if this one does. Yeah, kind of, sort of. But then you have to worry too much about position of gluing. It's a very tight fit. It's not a friction fit, but it's a very quality fit. Like I'm just looking at it here. I don't know if I can really get that close to show you, but I'm looking here and I don't see any gaps really in between the two mating surfaces. It looks really clean. So that's nice. That saves us a ton of work. Like I said, the parts fit really good. The other one, the bottom snaps better. This one kind of sets in there but doesn't snap. The other one does kind of hold itself in there. I don't know why there's a difference, but there is. So okay, so looks like we have to clean up that window a little bit. Looks like we've got a little bit of stringiness going on there, but that's always the thing with 3D printing. The fact that all these windows are as clean as they are for the most part is amazing, because I would have probably issues with that myself. My buildings I've printed, I usually just print each side individually and then glue it together as your traditional kits are built. But most people build them up in a full 3D building, so that's what these are. These are really nice, though. I'm pretty impressed with that. So let me get the other one here, and we'll take a look at that real quick. Okay, so here's the other one, and this isn't going to be a how to build video because there's really nothing to build here. Basically, we're going to have to attach the porch, and that's about it. So I'm going to paint these, and I'm going to see what works, and then I will let you know as we're going through this video if I run into any kind of issues with paint stickage. This is a double-decker house. There's another one. So these are the 1920s Sears home kits that you used to be able to buy back in the day. 100 years ago, you used to be able to order your home from the Sears catalog, and most likely it came on in a box car or a flat car, and you wheel up your wagon and take it to your building site. So this one has the bottom, which, as you can see, snaps in because that's not falling off. There you go. So there's a lot of options, or opportunity, I should say. It's a big dollhouse, N-scale dollhouse. There's all kinds of opportunity to do interior detailing, levels, and block off certain areas of lighting, things, whatever. Again, 3D printed bottom here, hole in the middle for lighting. This one, as I said, snaps into place, which is nice for, I don't know, I guess so it doesn't get lost. This one has this little porch section right here, which, as you can see, has remained with the building, the house, since I took it off the layout. But it just kind of slides in there. It's kind of an interesting mechanism he's got here. You just slide that sucker in there and it locks into place. That's pretty cool. Again, the windows are pretty clean. Really pretty clean windows here. Not too much work I have to do. See, we got a little bit of a utility. I believe that's a utility. Like electricity, cable line, whatever you want to do, phone line. Could just be an oops in the printing process, but that's okay. You can use that to your advantage if you wanted to. So here is the porch, one of the porches. Got a little bit of a filament issue here with that one. We'll have to clean that up. Bad thing is sometimes that filament likes to start coming apart like a string. So hopefully we don't have that issue. Here's the other porch. Looks pretty clean. And the other roof section. It's almost like Monopoly pieces here, the way it feels. So I got that provision here again in the roof. Doesn't lock into place, but it sets in there. Well, maybe it does lock. Yeah, no, it doesn't lock into place. It sets in there, and it's a pretty good fit. I hate to use the word precision. There's a little bit of a gappage going on there. I can tell in the roof and the siding. Well, no, if I put it the right way, then there wouldn't be. See, I'm doing the wrong. Oh, it does snap in there. See, you just heard it snap. Snaps and holds into place. Look at that. So see, I'm learning as I'm making this video. So the porch roof snap into place, so that's pretty cool. Okay. Well, let's look at the garage real quick, and then I'm going to get to painting and figuring out what all has to be done here. Very simple structure compared to the other ones we just looked at. Single car garage, I've seen some dual car garages as well, double car garages, two car garages, whatever you want to call it. You can see the filament right there again is kind of but we don't care about that. We care about this side, and I'm impressed at how well the shingles look. And the siding, the door looks really nice. We've got a little vintage right there going on. More vintage right there. Circulate those farts out of your shed while you're working there, your garage. We've got our concrete garage floor, I guess, and a little driveway thing here going down. Concrete garage floor. That's pretty neat. Then we got a garage door. Separate piece. That's pretty neat as well. And this can be left open, not in it, closed. That's why I'm glad he left that as an option for us to be able to decide how we want to display the model. Then can this be displayed open? Well, so it's got a border around here, and that looks like that fits. Okay, so if we want to glue it into place, that will work just fine. If we want to display it open, see, I was thinking about could display it like this, because some of those garages back in the day used to fold open like that, but I'll have to look into some pictures of these to see what. That'd be kind of fun to do it open. Okay, so I have run into a mentionable issue. So, so far I haven't had really any problem painting the. It's not really a kit per se too much, but you know, a few pieces. I guess that makes it qualify as a kit. Anyway, this is where we're at so far with the painting. Haven't had any issues with the paint sticking or, you know, doing weird things. It has adhered perfectly fine to the 3D printed material, and it didn't really do any prep to it either. So this is painted with black first, a light misting of flat black like that one there. That looks like a burned out Hulk, but trust me, that's not going to stay that way. And then I did the roof, some Rust-Oleum brown, and then I masked that off with that and painted the blue, took it off, unmasked it, and the paint really dried fairly quickly. I mean, I've been working on it here pretty much non-stop. I used the Tester's white enamel for the windows and a fine brush. The storm cellar, I haven't decided yet what I want to do with that. I painted it, I was going to leave it blue, and I thought maybe it should be white like the trim color. And then I thought, well, maybe it should look like the rain has been eating away some of the paint. And then I decided to do brown, nice and rust. I don't know if I'm going to leave it that way, but so far that's kind of what I have. This is a light brown mixed with a dusting of Model Masters military brown. That's the more redder brown there, you can see the redder shade. I also painted the smokestack in the brown, the military brown color. I just kind of dabbed it on, rubbed it on, fingered it on, kind of tried to make a variation of color into the shingles there. I'm also going to probably do a black wash to get into the tiles there. So I think. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go ahead and do white trim around the house. I actually really like the way it's turning out just like this. But the issue I've ran into is with the porch. So I've put a generous helping of spray white primer, Rust-Oleum white primer on that, because you can see the 3D printed filament gap there on the top. So what I'm hoping is what I'm hoping is that the primer paint will be thick enough to fill that in and not have to worry about it. I forgot I need to trim that little bit there too. But I wasn't expecting that. I couldn't see that when I didn't have it painted. But now that I do, and I left this one intentionally with only a couple coats, misting coats on there, so I could show you the example before I go ahead and heavily douse this one in white paint. Assuming that is the fix, I'm letting this one dry. And it looks better. It's still wet. I mean, this is flat white primer, and you can see it's still wet. So it looks like it might be filling it in, kind of, sort of. Yeah, and it's not something that's probably a big deal, really. But that's up to you, the builder, if you really want to take the time to try to either high build primer or a few coats of primer or maybe some sort of model putty. I don't know how much work you really want to put into this. I don't really want to put a whole lot of effort into that because it's not really something that's going to be like a... Well, it's not going to be entirely all that visible once the roof over the roof section here, which I need to. That's the brown color before I did that, but you know, I don't know that it's going to be all that visible, but it's something just to keep in mind. That let's see, do these ones? This other one can. Yeah, you can on that one too, so it's obviously more visible once you put primer on it or paint to it than it is here in the naked rawness. So, yeah. Other than that little conundrum, everything has been going, a-okay. Shoot, I forgot to paint that door right there. Oh well. So, it's looking like a little dollhouse, see? So, all right, so this is how the first, I'm going to say, Sears home has turned out. The porch I have glued on with some of the Eileen's Quick Dry Tacky Glue. It's still drying. I left the porch roof sections loose. I may want to take those off at some point for some reason. Who knows? Since they snap in and hold on pretty good, I figure that's going to be good enough for now. Give you a spin of the old building here. I gave the roof a black wash along with the chimney. And I put a little bit of a black wash on the door, which I guess you can't really see because of the shadows, but I did, so I don't know if it'll make a difference or not, but there is some there. I may put a black wash on the steps, perhaps. But I think this looks really nice. So that's what I've got going on so far. As you can see, I've kind of left the... won't focus here. Come on, iPhone 13. I've rusted that up. I added a black wash to it as well, and I think that really looks nice. I don't know if I'll leave it like that, but I mean, he bought the cheap non-galvanized steel. I don't know if they had such a thing. I don't know. I'm just making it up, but the paint's already come off of it, and it's rusting up, and it needs to be repainted again. I think that looks pretty good, actually. So I'm going to leave that for the time being. I'm still waiting for the paint to dry on the other Sears kit. But let me show you the garage. So this is the garage as I have it sitting right now. And I painted the same as this house because this was the house that I wanted the garage to go to. It's a little different. Just enough of a difference to be like, yeah, that was probably constructed later by a different company. Could have been one of those metal garage kits. They come in and either build or deliver, or you build, deliver, whatever. I painted the same color basically as the house. Just use the white paint pen on that. The garage door I glued in place. The canopy glue is still drying there. So I wanted it to give, and I only painted part of it white. I wanted to give it the appearance that the garage door is open. I think that works really nice. Just give it just a tease. Just to tease, the garage door is almost all the way open. We can still see it there. I like that look. Here's the other Sears building right now on the layout. I just set it here. This seems to be a spot that it likes. I thought that was a big building, big house. This is a little bit bigger because of the porch. I thought this little farmhouse was a big house, but it's clearly not. So yeah, set that down. Looking good in the neighborhood. I've got the, I don't know if you can kind of see it there in that upper window there. I've got the canopy glue spread across all the windows. You can see the bottom one's still drying. It pretty much dries, it's white, and then it basically dries clear. If you're wanting something perfectly crystal clear, this isn't going to do it, but this is, for this scale, I think it works perfectly fine. And it's really simple to just smear across the window gaps, the window openings there. That one's still drying. But yeah, you can see some of them there in the porch right there. Those kind of get an idea how it looks. So back on this guy, I also put some canopy glue across these windows. Of course, they are still drying as well. And you can see the skin coat across there. The door is actually pretty well dried through there. You can kind of see light through it. I need to decide if I'm going to paint the trim on this one. I might paint the trim white. Just leave it, or I may just do white. I don't know yet, but that's where we're at so far. So I have to decide how I'm going to proceed with the trim color. So far, I think it's looking pretty much the part. So I'll give that some more time to dry. That's the biggest thing that takes the most time with building models is waiting for things to dry, But it's the way it is. So we'll cut you back on when I've got some more progress to report. It's amazing how much time this stuff really does take. Maybe it's just me and I'm being really nitpicky about stuff, but I'm trying not to be nitpicky. I'm not really nitpicky, but it's amazing how long this has been taking, and I haven't even gotten groundwork yet, coverings. So there's one Sears house. There's the garage, and there's the last one started in this video. And you see I changed it to it's technically not ivory, but it's close enough to ivory that I'm going to call it ivory for a trim. Thank you, Shaylee. So that seemed to work out pretty good. I had to put a second coat of and it's kind of curly there looking, but I had to put a second coat of the how did this go on here? The window maker, I'm going to call it. The canopy glue. A couple of spots, the canopy glue just shrunk and cracked. I didn't have that problem in this one, but for some reason that one did. So the door, and there was one window at the top somewhere up here. Oops. And one of the windows in the basement didn't actually get coated. One of the 3 squares there, but it's whitish, but it's not as white as white trim. So that's what I'm going to leave that. And I think that's looking really nice. Color combination there. Unlike housing developments nowadays, I want variety in my houses because people have personalities, right? So I have some more of these Sears kits on order now that I've seen how they go, painting and stuff like that. Yeah, highly recommend this if you want something quick and easy to get up and going. As you can see, I'm trying to lay out the width of the road here. I've got my vehicles here, 2 passing, 2 parked, to give me kind of an idea of the width here. For the sidewalk, I've got a little Chinese person standing right there. I say that because, it's that bag of 100 from China I got a couple years ago. And I got more cars coming, actually, some lighted ones this time. Yeah, so trying to decide that. This is the plastic I think I'm going to use for the sidewalk. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to buy more of it. And I'm obviously going to have to cut it and shape it for the curves. But yeah, all this stuff takes a lot of time to figure out. Got my trees back there. I've had sitting around for a little while. Probably bought those when Hobby Lobby still had their 40% off coupons, actually. So that's where we're going to leave it in this video. I've got some street lights here I dug out. And I need to start figuring out how things are going to go as far as that also goes. Got the primary road going through town here, pulls off into the residential area, which turns off into the other road that's going to go this way through downtown. And then I'm going to have an overpass right here. I think I've got the overpass bridge. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. I did buy a lot of stuff like 3 or 4 years ago. I may have been also going to 3D print that. I don't remember now. But either way, there's going to be a bridge going across here to, off layout destinations, as people like to call it. So that's the plan, Stan. So thank you guys very much for watching. And yeah, I'm not making money off of this, but definitely a great alternative to the typical Woodland Scenics DPM building structures. So, all right, guys, take care. See you again right here on Nick's Collectible Creations. Peace out.